Andi Purewal for Boxing News, joined by Teddy Atlas. Teddy, we've just seen the weigh-in for Terence Crawford and Israel Madrimov. What did you make of them up on the stage here?
That doesn't matter. All that matters is what's going to be in the ring. It's the same. It's nothing different. You know, two serious guys, two undefeated guys, two guys who don't want their O to go, but one who's much more experienced, and you know, he knows what he can do at this level. Bye, Marco. He knows what he can do at this level. The Madrimov doesn't have as much experience and information in that department of knowing what he can do. You know, he's a new champion. He's got 10 pro fights. Yes, he had a lot of amateur fights, and he's a serious guy, and he's a strong guy, and he's solid. He knows how to fight, Madrimov, but he doesn't know what he can do at this level of competition. How can he? He hasn't been there yet. The big advantage is Crawford does know. He does know what he can do at this competition, no matter what the weight is.
For Terence, what does this say about him and his career? If he comes out on top, he's gone straight up from 147 to 154 to face a man many see as the best in the division.
He don't have to tell me no more. I already consider him just a great fighter, a fighter that can fit into any era. I believe the fighters of the 30s and 40s, even 50s, were the greatest fighters we saw, and the 80s too, of course. We had some great fighters, but I think that Crawford is one of those rare guys that can fit into any era, just like in the 80s. You know, you had Duran, you had Sugar Ray Leonard, those Pernell Whitaker, those kind of guys, they can fit into any era. But I believe that Crawford could fit into any era and take on anybody. I mean, he's that special. He is a generational talent. And it's not just because of his physical abilities, which he has so many of them, and his length and everything else, his skeleton, his body, that he could grow up into those weight classes and be able to handle the weight changes. But it's because of his mental state. That he's a guy that truly has that supreme confidence, that Customato, my mentor, used to say, very few people have. You know, the only ones he ever saw that had it was Sugar Ray Robinson and Muhammad Ali, that you'd believe that nothing can beat you. Nothing can beat you. And Crawford has that. And he, you know, we talk about speed, we talk about, you know, power and all those things, and timing and everything. But he takes it to another level because of his vision. And the reason his vision is so good is because mentally he is so cold and calm in there that he sees things a little sooner than other people do.
Speaking so highly of him there, Teddy, and you mentioned how he has the attributes to move through the weights, there has been talk of a potential Canelo fight at 168. Do you believe that he could defeat Canelo Alvarez at 168, or is that a bridge too far?
There does come a time when you go up too many weight classes. Lomachenko, as great as he is and has been, a great fighter, you know, he went up 3, and lightweight was about it, you know, you could see. But Crawford has the skeleton, he has the body frame to put more weight on. But going up now, another one to 168, not even 160, but to skip. I would prefer that he make it a catch weight, that he make Canelo come down a little bit, make it a catch weight. But having said all of that, I ain't never betting against Crawford. That's all I can tell you. No matter what, no matter who he's in there with, what the weight, I'm not picking against him.
Just with Canelo, obviously, he had his fight with Edgar Berlanga announced recently. Not received necessarily the positive outcome and reaction he'd have liked. What did you make of the Canelo-Berlanga fight?
The Berlanga opponent now? Listen, I think Berlanga is a talented kid who's getting better. He's improved recently. I think he still needs more seasoning, but I see an improvement in him. He is a talented kid. I compare it to Munguia. where McGee, even though he had a lot more fights, McGee hadn't had those kind of fights on that stage, at that level, to be ready, really, really ready for Canelo. He was still a few fights short. He still needed more seasoning. Even though he had a lot of fights, he still needed more seasoning. I see Berlanga in the same way, that he still needs more. He's not quite ready, but a talented kid.
One final one from me, Teddy. At Wembley Stadium, September 21st, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois. What do you make of that heavyweight fight?
Look, Dubois has proven himself to be a pro, like a warrior. Like he had those bad fights where he gave in, where he broke down in the Usyk fight. Forget about the controversy with the low blow, but at the end of the day, he didn't get it done. Obviously, he also didn't get it done in the Joyce fight. Mentally broke down a little bit, but physically he's strong, he can punch, he's got a good chin, and he's shown his last few fights that he has all the heart in the world. He has gotten over the hump. He has gotten over that what he needed to get over to mentally find himself, to believe in himself, to be a pro, to behave like a pro. And he showed that in his last fight. He showed that in his last two fights, where he showed tremendous heart, tremendous chin, all the things that people were disputing whether or not he had it. And if he can put that together, with everything else he already has the physical power. He already has all those physical assets. The only problem, to be honest with you, is right now Joshua's in a good place, about as good as he's been in, and confident, mentally right, and technically looking good. Davidson's helping him a lot. But I really believe that what I just said, that Dubois has become a pro now, where he's not going to beat himself anymore. But having said that, he's got to get technical help. He's got good people around him, but unless he learns how to avoid those right hands and those punches that he took in his last fight, those punches he took and he overcame it, but he walked through them. Those first 3, 4, 5 rounds that he took those right hands, if he is not different in this fight from a defensive standpoint, from a technical standpoint, if he's not improved really dramatically in that way, Joshua knocks him out. I mean, he's not going to be able to walk through those punches early on to get to the late stages that he got to against Hrgovic, where he was able to wear him down. And again, I give all the credit. I like Dubois. I like the people around him. But if he doesn't improve defensively, and there's a way to do it, but if he's not doing it, if he's not going to show that, then you have to favor Joshua, as I just said.
Teddy, thank you for your time. Enjoy tomorrow night.
Thank you.